Hi, I'm Akur. I landed a job as a data analyst after 1.5 years of struggling in this atrocious economy. With no background in computer science, no real experience with data, with not much understanding of the industry at all, I was finally able to do it. But honestly, at one time, I thought I would never be able to enter this industry at all. I have learned a lot in this time period, really just through sheer grit and trial and error. And that is exactly why I want to make this video, so I can save you that years of wasted time that I have spent just trying to land a job. So with that, what are the core skills that you need to land a data analyst job in 2025? That is exactly what I'm going to explain in this video, as well as I'm going to explain how you can learn these skills fast so that you can enter that job that you want. By the end of this video, I want you to have the confidence that you can enter the data analyst field. Now, there are several videos about data analysts and what skills you should learn, and most YouTubers will tell you to learn Excel first, SQL, and Python. And while that is somewhat correct, this is definitely not the place that you should start if you have no background in this at all, no computer science degree, no experience at all. You should never start with the tools first. This is something that I see a lot of these YouTubers talk about, but without this one previous skill, none of that other stuff matters at all. The very first thing that you should do before trying to understand any tool is to understand statistics. Statistics is the backbone of data analysis, and without it, you can't do any meaningful interpretation or provide any insights. It'll just be you looking at a bunch of numbers in a data set. For example, let's say you're looking at sales data. The mean or the average will tell you the average amount that a customer spends. The mode will tell you the most frequent amount that a customer spends. Standard deviation will tell you the variance between amounts of customer spending. Histograms will allow you to identify spending patterns. Hypothesis testing and regression will help you identify relationships between variables and whether these relationships are due to chance or not. Without statistics, you are unable to come to any of these conclusions. If you don't have any understanding of statistics at all, obviously start with free resources such as Google and YouTube. YouTube videos are the best. You can learn absolutely anything. Khan Academy is very good as well. You can try to learn statistics specifically for data analysts. If you want to spend a little bit, I don't think you have to, but Coursera and Udemy are great options as well. I personally think that the Introduction to Statistics course from Harvard University is a really good one. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I think that is a really good resource. But again, don't feel like you have to spend to learn statistics at all. It's all available online for free. But once you get a pretty strong foundation of statistics, that's when I say then you can then learn Excel. Excel is probably the most common and easiest tool that data analysts use. It's honestly probably one of the most used tools, and it's pretty much in every job description that I've seen for any sort of analyst, regardless of the industry or the profession that you choose. But when it comes to Excel, here's the catch. Rather than going onto Google or YouTube or just taking a course like you did for trying to learn statistics, I want you to do this very differently. Rather than just passively trying to learn information through consumption, I want you to learn it by doing a hands-on project. Go to Kaggle.com or go to any online repository. You can download any dataset of your choosing and just do a simple project in Excel. By doing a project, not are you only going to be able to see the use cases that you see online, but you will be able to retain that information a lot easier. If you just try to remember it and try to just recall it in the next 3 weeks to a month, you would have completely forgotten it. But by doing a project, it's going to stick with you a lot longer. Now, in terms of a project, what should you do? So, there are 3 main steps when it comes to a data analysis project. The very first thing is data cleaning and formatting. This is basically where you clean the data to remove any bad data to ensure accuracy. Basically, it's everything from removing duplicates to filling in missing values to getting rid of big outliers that affect the data. Without data cleaning and without formatting, you can really screw up the results, and this will actually hurt the insights that you provide, and it can lead to an inaccurate conclusion. So this is a very important step. The very second step from here is the actual analysis itself. This is where you analyze the data to come up with insights. Now, in this step, you can either come up with the questions that you're trying to answer yourself, or you can have ChatGPT do them for you. This is something that I would highly recommend. For example, if you're working with a sales data set, you can make up the question, which customer segment is most responsible for our sales? Or which region drives the most sales? Or which month of the year has the highest amount of signups? What about the highest amount of churn? Come up with 6 to 10 questions like this to start that you can solve using data analysis practices. From here, the third step is data visualization. Now, 100% of the time, once you come up with insights and you have the answers of your analysis, you have to put it into a visualization of some sort. This is basically charts and graphs. No one is ever going to just read a statistic that you've created on the slide. They want to see it in a chart and a graph. Your boss, your manager, upper management will never ever read a report that you give them. They will simply skim over these graphics that you've created for them. Tell me, what is easier to comprehend? A chart that shows the highest amount of signups in a month, or you actually typing that out in a line? So again, to quickly reiterate, those are the 3 main steps: data cleaning and formatting, data analysis, and data visualization. So download a data set from online and do these 3 main steps. Now, obviously, you are going to get confused. If you've never cleaned data, you've never done any analysis before, you're going to likely have questions. And this is when you can use Google and YouTube to assist you. Now, that knowledge that you search up, now you can apply it directly to a real life problem because you're doing it right now in front of you. Again, not only is it going to be easier to understand when you see it, but as well as you're going to retain that information long term because you actively practiced it hands on. So first, download the dataset, then use Google and YouTube to assist you to actually complete the project. Over time, you can do a couple projects like this and create a small portfolio so that your employers or the jobs that you're applying to actually know that you know how to use these skills and you're not just listing it on your resume as a skill like everyone else. You have actual proof of it. The last skill that you should learn, but only once you've mastered statistics as well as Excel, is SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it's also basically a database tool as well that is used very commonly in data analysis. According to statistics, it's honestly used more than Python, and it's something that data analysis employers are really looking for. In my experience of searching for positions, Excel and SQL were the 2 most listed tools that I've seen, and honestly, there's the data there to prove it as well. SQL is really good for retrieving, extracting, as well as finding patterns in data, large amounts of data. Excel, for example, can only hold about 10,000 rows of data, whereas SQL can handle up to millions of data points. This is obviously a lot more applicable to real-life applications because companies like Walmart, Amazon, and Google have millions of transactions in a day. A tool like Excel can only handle so much of that data, and it's honestly useless for these bigger companies. And this is where SQL comes in. Again, to learn this tool, I would maybe watch a YouTube video or 2 just to get a bit of an understanding of what it does, what its use cases are, but to really learn the hands-on skills, I would download a data set, play with it in MySQL Workbench, or play with it online. There's many free online tools. You can just Google it and play with it there. And whenever you're trying to solve something or you're trying to figure something out, then use Google or YouTube to actually help you solve that problem that you're trying to solve. If I was learning SQL again, the very first thing that I would do is learn basic data types. From there, learning how to retrieve data such as select statements, conditional select statements such as select from and select where. I would very much also learn how to filter data as well as joining tables and joining data. That is a huge function in SQL. I won't go into too much detail in this video, but very much when you do your research and you're doing a project, learn into that as well. Hopefully by now you've gained a lot of knowledge as to what is needed in this current job market for data analysis. Just to quickly summarize, you should learn statistics first, very, very well, because you can't do anything else without it, then Excel, and then SQL. Now that you know all of this, it's time to take action. Stop watching so many YouTube videos and do the work that is required. I wish you all the utmost success because there's plenty for all of us.